Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi Grace, author of 10 young adult novels so far. Welcome to a goals video. We haven't done one of these in, well, probably a year. That's probably, I'm gonna guess that was the last time. I do typically, sometimes, I don't know, haven't looked to see how consistent I was, do a video at the beginning of each year, be like, these are my goals for the year, and usually they are ridiculous. Like in 2022, when I was like, we're rewriting and publishing 8 books, which was a terrible idea, and we only got through 5 of them, which was also terrible and too fast, and we're never doing that again. But usually it's something like that. I remember there was one year, I don't remember what year this was, but there was a year where I had 7 projects? Anyway, we're not doing that, okay? We're gonna be super chill and sustainable over here. So, 2025 goals. Goal number 1. Finish the end of Cindy's rewrite, because we still have not. We made progress on it today, though, so we're working on it. Anyway, finishing that, which I'm expecting to get done like January, February, maybe into March, depending on how slow I am with this whole sustainable consistency thing that I'm trying out. But early in the year, I'm gonna finish Cindy's rewrites. We only have 3,000 words from the original ending to still sift through and decide if I'm using those scenes or what pieces of those scenes I'm using or whatever. There's only 3,000 more words to go through, which, based on how the rewrites are going, would be like 6,000 words in the new draft. But also, I'm changing up how the end of the story is going, and a lot of it's going to be new content that's not in those 3,000 words. So I don't know what it will end up being, which means I don't know how long it will take me. Typically in a writing session I write around 1,000 words-ish. Today's writing session I wrote 952, and actually it felt really slow to me. So when I got to the end and I tallied it up, it was like, wow, that's almost average, but it felt slow. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, with the 3,000 words to sift through, the 6,000 guess that would be, plus if there's extras, like if it's 10,000 words maybe that, you know, to get to the end of this draft 1 hybrid thing, that's like 10 days of writing, which is not a lot, so I should be able to get it done, you guys. That's the point. Anyway, it's so sad that those 10 days of writing have just been hanging over me for 6 months, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it before the end of March. Hopefully in January, in fact, but before the end of March. We'll be reasonable. My hair is so staticky today, and it's because it's like winter, and I hate that, and it's just touching me, and I keep messing with it because it's messing with me. Anyway, so that's goal number 1, which hopefully will get done very quickly in the year. Finish Cindy. Goal number 2, edit Cindy. Which I'm already kind of working on, because having finished Isolation, published Isolation, I've already started sending chapters from the beginning of Cindy to my critique partner, Hannah. We're on chapter 2 this week, and then tomorrow we're meeting, and then I'm sending her chapter 3. So we're making progress in January already on the beginning of Cindy. So edits are happening, because before I send it to Hannah, I go over, my sister, who's an English teacher, she reads my drafts first when she has the time to do so in her busy life. But she has read some of Cindy? All of Cindy? I don't remember how much, but at least the first couple chapters, because they had comments. So I go through her comments and make her edits and suggestions. And then I take the edited chapter, right? So like, we had the original book, we rewrote it, then we go through my sister's edits, and then I make any further changes or adjustments I want to make, and then I send it to Hannah. So there's a lot of editing happening before it gets to Hannah, and then she gives me more edits. Are we following all this? Anyway, the point is, it's already much more polished. So, once I get it to Hannah, it's better, and then once I get it back from Hannah and make changes, it's glorious, okay? It's getting there. So, the point of that detailed explanation that you did not need was the edits are happening. That was the point. So I don't know how long this goal will take. Partially depends on how long it takes me to finish the end of Cindy, and therefore I can go through all of Cindy to edit it. Can't edit what's not there. So I don't know. The editing may be a whole year process. I don't know. And then the final goal, which is not really a goal but more of a hope, is that if I do get through self-edits and critique partner edits and like that, yada yada, maybe publish Cindy this year? But that's a hope and not a goal, because I don't want to do what I did with Isolation, which was really just slap it all together at the end and be like, this is fine. We're not doing that. I feel with my rewrites, because they're already published books that I then unpublished and rewrote and am republishing, I don't feel like as compelled, I guess, to have like a real book launch, you know? Like, they're real books, and I love them, and I want people reading them again now that they're spruced up. But I don't feel bad that Isolation did not have, like, a party, you know what I mean? But when I get to Messiah, eventually, when I publish that, like, it's gonna be there's gonna be a real book launch. I don't know what that will look like, we're not even close, but the point is, I don't want to do what I did with Isolation, but I'm also not upset about it. But I'd like to do better with Cindy, and not rush anything with Cindy at all. So I'm going to take my time this year with the edits, and then if we finish edits, think about publication. But if not, then not. So like 2 goals and 1 hope there for the year. Other side quest, make progress on Messiah's second draft, potentially. No promises there, but it's something. If I feel the need. Sometimes I get tired of writing in the dystopian trilogy and I need to go back to my fantasy, so who knows? It's out there. And then the other thing is, if I do finish the initial write of Cindy, which is gonna happen in January, guys. If I do finish Cindy, then I do want to start on book 3. So like in the midst of editing Cindy, I'm also going to be doing the initial rewrite of book 3, which I have made 0 progress on at all because I never finished Cindy's. So, actual goals. Finish Cindy. Edit Cindy. Start book 3. And then hopeful goals. Progress on Messiah. Maybe publish Cindy? And that's it. That is the 2025 goals. Other things, I do want to get back into reading, you guys. I stopped being a reader in the last 2-3 years. I don't know when it happened. Last year I didn't read at all. I mean, I read a little. I think I read a grand total of 3 books last year. It's so sad, you guys. Anyway, in January, I've decided I'm gonna be a reader this year. We're already working on it, okay? I picked up The Lord of the Rings at the end of the Christmas holidays. And by that I mean New Year's, because my family has, like, personal Christmas, but then we do, like, Christmas with everybody over New Year's. Oh, my bracelet fell off. Because I waved my arm around too much. At the end of December, beginning in January, anyway, I picked up The Lord of the Rings, which I haven't read since I was a teenager, and I'm obsessed, you guys. It's so good. It is better than I remember it being. I already thought that it was amazing. So, also everything is, like, super familiar, except for a couple of things, because, when I read it as a teenager for the first time, I read all 3 volumes back to back very, very quickly, and then as soon as I finished, I started over, and I read all 3 volumes back to back very, very quickly, and then as soon as I finished, I started over, and I read all 3 volumes. There was, like, a year where I was just, like, constantly reading The Lord of the Rings, and then I watched the movies, which are masterpieces, and then The Hobbit came out, which are not masterpieces, and then Life. But I haven't really read The Lord of the Rings since then. So everything is very, very familiar because I read it a lot in that year or 2 that I was doing that. But there are some things that I had maybe not forgotten, but had become, like, morphed with the movies, which I watch much more frequently. Elrond specifically, like, when I met him in the book again for the first time in a long time, and he was lighthearted and laughing and elf-like, and I was like, this is not Hugo Weaving, like, at all. I'm so confused. Because I think because of watching the movie so much, I just gotten it in my head that, like, he's just the grumpy old dad. But he's not. At all. So, that's been interesting. Anyway, we don't need to talk about it. The point is I'm going to be reading, and I am currently reading, and I'm going to keep reading. That's the whole point. Which means I'm probably going to be doing, like, reading recaps again. And, like, I don't even know what all. Also, there will be YouTube videos. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but we're back into doing YouTube videos. Anything else in my goals? I don't know, you guys. I'm planning on being human and being productive and doing all the things that I used to do that I stopped doing. Having 3 weeks off of work and just being lazy and whatever was really helpful. I think I needed that. And now I'm back, and I'm excited. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's do this.